When finishing a basement for use as a recreational or television area, outlet spacing does come into play. According to the National Electrical Code, commonly referred to as the NEC, outlets must be placed no more than 12 feet apart along the wall. Additionally, outlets must be placed no more than 6 feet apart on walls that are more than 12 feet long. The purpose of these requirements is to ensure that there are a sufficient number of outlets available to power all of the electronic devices and other equipment that will be used in the space. In addition to the NEC requirements, there are several other factors to consider when planning the outlet spacing in a finished basement. Firstly, the type of furniture that will be used in the space is important. If you plan on using large pieces of furniture, such as sofas, chairs, or entertainment centers, you will need to make sure that there are outlets placed behind or near each piece of furniture. This will make it easier to plug in lamps, electronic devices, and other equipment without having to run extension cords across the room. Secondly, the number of electronic devices that will be used in the space should be taken into account. If you plan on using a lot of electronic devices, such as televisions, DVD players, gaming consoles, stereos, and computers, you will need to make sure that there are enough outlets to power all of them. Consider installing multiple outlets in areas where you plan to have a lot of electronic devices. Thirdly, the location of the electrical panel is also a factor to consider. The electrical panel is the source of power for the outlets in your basement. Make sure that the electrical panel is located in a convenient location so that you can easily access it if needed. It is also important to make sure that the electrical panel has enough capacity to handle the additional electrical load that will be created by the finished basement. When planning the outlet spacing in a finished basement, it is also important to consider the safety of the occupants. Make sure that all outlets are properly grounded and that they are protected by ground fault circuit interrupters, commonly referred to as GFCIs, in areas where there is a risk of moisture, such as near sinks or washing machines. It is also important to make sure that all wiring is properly installed and that it meets the requirements of the NEC. The NEC specifies minimum requirements for electrical installations to ensure safety. These requirements cover various aspects such as wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It is crucial to adhere to the NEC guidelines to prevent electrical hazards such as shocks, fires, and equipment damage. Some key areas covered by the NEC include conductor sizing, which determines the appropriate wire gauge for different circuit loads. Overcurrent protection involves the use of circuit breakers or fuses to protect circuits from excessive current flow. Grounding ensures a safe path for fault currents, reducing the risk of electric shock. Wiring methods specify how conductors should be installed and protected, including the use of conduit, cables, and raceways. Equipment installation covers the proper installation and connection of electrical devices and appliances. To ensure compliance with the NEC, it is recommended to consult with a qualified electrician who can assess your specific needs and ensure that the electrical installation meets all applicable requirements. Regular inspections and maintenance of electrical systems are also essential for identifying and addressing potential hazards. By following the NEC guidelines and taking appropriate safety precautions, you can minimize the risk of electrical accidents and create a safe environment. When determining outlet placement, it's useful to visualize how the room will be used. Imagine where furniture will go, and how people will move around the space. This helps avoid situations where outlets are blocked by furniture or are inconveniently located. Furthermore, consider the potential for future needs. Even if you don't anticipate needing many outlets initially, it's wise to install extra ones to accommodate future devices or changes in room layout. This foresight can save time and money later on. In addition to standard outlets, think about including other types of electrical connections. For example, installing USB outlets can be convenient for charging phones and tablets. Also, consider adding Ethernet ports for wired internet connections, which can provide more reliable and faster speeds than wireless connections. When installing electrical wiring, always use high-quality materials that are rated for the intended use. This includes using the correct gauge of wire, appropriate connectors, and durable outlet boxes. Proper installation techniques are also crucial. Ensure that all connections are secure and that wires are properly insulated. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. They have the knowledge and experience to ensure that the job is done safely and correctly. After the electrical work is complete, it's important to test all outlets to make sure they are working properly. Use a circuit tester to verify that the outlets are wired correctly and that they are grounded. This simple test can help identify any potential problems before they cause a hazard. Remember, electrical work can be dangerous, so it's always better to err on the side of caution. If you're not sure about something, consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide guidance and ensure that your electrical system is safe and up to code. Also, consider the placement of lighting fixtures in relation to the outlets. Ensure that there are enough outlets near lamps and other lighting devices to avoid the need for extension cords. Proper lighting is an important aspect of any finished basement, so plan the electrical layout accordingly. Moreover, think about installing smart outlets that can be controlled remotely. These outlets can be used to turn devices on and off, set schedules, and monitor energy consumption. They can add convenience and energy savings to your finished basement. In addition to the NEC requirements, some local building codes may have additional requirements for outlet spacing and electrical installations. Check with your local building department to ensure that you are complying with all applicable regulations. Building codes are designed to ensure the safety and quality of construction, so it's important to follow them carefully. Furthermore, consider the aesthetic appearance of the outlets and wiring. Choose outlets and cover plates that match the decor of the finished basement. Conceal wiring as much as possible to create a clean and professional look. Attention to detail can make a big difference in the overall appearance of the finished space. When installing outlets, make sure they are accessible and not hidden behind furniture or other obstructions. Outlets should be easy to reach and use. Avoid placing outlets in areas where they are likely to be damaged or exposed to moisture. Accessibility is key to ensuring that the outlets are safe and convenient to use. Remember, the goal is to create a finished basement that is both functional and safe. By carefully planning the outlet spacing and electrical layout, you can ensure that your basement is a comfortable and enjoyable space for years to come. Also, be aware of the potential for electromagnetic interference, commonly known as EMI, from electrical wiring. EMI can interfere with electronic devices and cause problems with audio and video signals. To minimize EMI, use shielded cables and keep wiring away from sensitive equipment. Shielding helps to block electromagnetic fields and prevent interference. Moreover, consider the potential for power outages. Installing a backup generator or uninterruptible power supply, known as a UPS, can provide power to essential devices during a power outage. This can be especially important for devices such as refrigerators, medical equipment, and security systems. A backup power source can provide peace of mind and ensure that your finished basement remains functional even during a power outage. In addition to the NEC requirements, it's also a good idea to follow industry best practices for electrical installations. This includes using high-quality materials, following proper installation techniques, and testing all work to ensure that it is safe and reliable. Industry best practices are developed by experts in the field and are designed to ensure the highest standards of safety and quality. Moreover, think about the potential for future renovations or additions to the finished basement. Installing extra conduit and wiring can make it easier to add new outlets or circuits in the future. Planning for future needs can save time and money in the long run. By thinking ahead, you can ensure that your finished basement remains adaptable to changing needs. In addition to standard outlets, consider installing specialized outlets for specific devices. For example, installing a 240 volts outlet can be useful for powering high-power appliances such as electric heaters or air conditioners. Specialized outlets can provide the power needed for demanding devices. Furthermore, think about the potential for energy efficiency. Using energy-efficient lighting and appliances can help reduce energy consumption and save money on utility bills. Energy-efficient devices are designed to use less power while providing the same level of performance. Energy efficiency is not only good for the environment, but also good for your wallet. Moreover, consider the potential for automation. Installing smart home devices such as smart thermostats, smart lighting, and smart security systems can automate many aspects of your finished basement. Automation can add convenience, comfort, and security to your finished space. Smart home devices can be controlled remotely using a smartphone or tablet. In addition to the NEC requirements, it's also important to be aware of any local ordinances or regulations that may apply to electrical installations. Check with your local government to ensure that you're complying with all applicable laws. Local ordinances and regulations are designed to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the community. Furthermore, consider the potential for resale value. A well-designed and properly installed electrical system can add value to your home. Potential buyers will appreciate the convenience and safety of a modern electrical system. A finished basement with a well-planned electrical layout can be a selling point for your home. Moreover, think about the potential for noise reduction. Using soundproofing materials can help reduce noise transmission between the finished basement and other parts of the house. Soundproofing can create a more peaceful and enjoyable environment in your finished basement. Noise reduction is especially important if the basement will be used as a home theater or music room. In addition to the NEC requirements, it's also a good idea to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or designer. An electrical engineer or designer can provide expert advice and guidance on the design and installation of your electrical system. They can also help you comply with all applicable codes and regulations. Expert advice can ensure that your electrical system is safe, efficient, and reliable. Furthermore, consider the potential for accessibility. Designing the finished basement with accessibility in mind can make it easier for people with disabilities to use the space. Accessibility features can include wider doorways, ramps, and grab bars. Accessibility is important for creating a welcoming and inclusive environment. Moreover, think about the potential for safety features such as smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors can provide early warning of fires and carbon monoxide leaks. These safety features can save lives and protect your family. It's important to install smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in every sleeping area and on every level of the house. In addition to the NEC requirements, it's also important to follow manufacturers' instructions for the installation and use of electrical equipment. Manufacturers' instructions provide important information about the safe and proper use of electrical equipment. Following manufacturers' instructions can prevent damage to equipment and reduce the risk of injury. Furthermore, consider the potential for surge protection. Installing surge protectors can protect sensitive electronic equipment from damage caused by power surges. Power surges can damage electronic devices and cause data loss. Surge protectors can prevent damage and protect your investment. Moreover, think about the potential for grounding and bonding. Proper grounding and bonding can help prevent electrical shock and reduce the risk of fire. Grounding and bonding provide a safe path for fault currents to flow back to the electrical panel. Proper grounding and bonding are essential for electrical safety. In addition to the NEC requirements, it's also important to perform regular maintenance on your electrical system. Regular maintenance can help identify and prevent potential problems before they cause a hazard. Maintenance tasks can include inspecting wiring, tightening connections, and testing outlets. Regular maintenance can ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. Furthermore, consider the potential for energy monitoring. Installing energy monitoring devices can help you track your energy consumption and identify areas where you can save energy. Energy monitoring devices can provide valuable information about your energy usage. Energy monitoring can help you reduce your energy bills and conserve resources. Moreover, think about the potential for future technology upgrades. Installing extra conduit and wiring can make it easier to upgrade your electrical system in the future. Future technology upgrades may require new wiring or outlets. Planning for future upgrades can save time and money in the long run. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your finished basement has plenty of outlets to power all of your electronic devices, appliances, and other equipment, while also ensuring the safety and convenience of the space.